Good evening. It is April 9th at 7 p.m. This is the April meeting of the Beech Grove Parks Board. We will start this evening with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right.
Next month, Tom will sing the national anthem.
Whatever it is.
Perfect. Team player. All right, we will start over here with the roll call.
Janice King, School Board.
Adam James, Secretary.
Tara Wolf, President.
Jeff Whaler, Vice President.
Barbara Hook, Parks Board Member.
Pam Stallard, Parks Board Member.
Great. We also have Tiffany Flick and Tom Hannon from the Community Center and the Parks Department. Are you speaking tonight, or are you just here to? Wonderful. Thanks for coming. Okay. Do you want to go ahead and give your update?
Yeah,
Okay, wonderful. We have Samantha Stratton, Clerk Treasurer.
Alrighty. Okay, so before the meeting, I passed out this draft of a permit ordinance for beer and wine in city parks. So I know Tara reviewed it before today, Tiffany reviewed it before today, and then it got sent to Jim and Craig for initial look over. Still very much in draft stages for sure. Hornet Park is highlighted because there is some gray area on whether or not we can get that done. I reached out to somebody on the Alcohol Beverage Commission. I've not heard back, so I'm gonna try a different person. But it seems we might be able to do that for special events with written permission from the school board and the superintendent. And then that will give us permission. But typically you can't have alcohol within 25 feet of a wall of a school. And since the Hornet Park Community Center shares a wall with the school, that's difficult. So we're seeing if that written permission counts for us or not. It's a pretty standard ordinance. In terms of the definitions, event and festival are different. Event is aimed at things like baby showers, wedding receptions, things like that. Festival is anything that people come and go. So like the art festival, or if we did like Franklin does the Vine and Hops Festival, you're not having 1,000 people at one time typically. They come and go, things like that. There are different prices. Indiana requirements, they automatically have to get one with Indiana along with us. Some communities don't charge for an extra permit. Some do, like Greenfield and Speedway, Bloomington. Big event towns do for sure. The fee per day with Indiana per state code is typically usually $50 a day. I think once you get into the multiple thousands, they change it, but we are not doing multiple thousands, so not applicable to us. The permit application would include event organizer, date and time of the event, estimated number of attendees, the specific location within the park, event details, certificate of liability insurance with $1 million insured. The fees in here are just something I came together with looking at other cities, open for discussion and change, obviously. But I have in here a $50 permit fee will be charged for events with 250 attendees or fewer. If the event is outdoors and has between 250 to 500 attendees, the permit fee will be $75. And attendance of up to 1,000 will be permitted if the event is a festival, so no bigger events like concerts. If you have over 1,000 people, you can't have alcohol. And is held inside T. Bolton Park, and the permit fee for that type of event is $100. There is, like I said, an attendance limitation on page 2. You cannot exceed 1,000 attendees at any time. And then I know the biggest concern is making sure people are secure and safe. So in here, I have that, which first, they also have to get the excise police officer for, I think, Marion County or the state. They have to get that signature. That's a non-negotiable. And then would also get the signature of one of our police chiefs. I also have in here that the security levels for events with fewer than 100 guests, only 1 hired officer is required who would be off duty but hired. Events that are larger than 100, 2 hired officers are required. And then I did put in here that the Beech Grove Chief of Police has the right to reserve more officers if he deems that they think they need more security. He does need to let the people know within 2 weeks of the event so they have time to hire additional security. And then, yeah, the rest is pretty much the severability and ordinance things. So that's the main bulk of it. I know there's still conversations to be had with Tom still a little bit more, the police a little bit more. But that's the bones that we're working with right now.
I would definitely
I thought about that, and then you guys can, I might send you the surrounding areas. The Speedway's 150 for any event, and Greenfield is 75. And I don't think Greenwood charges at all. They just charge the $50 Indiana. So it's up to you guys, obviously, because I will go, I need to actually state in here where that money would go, and it would go in.
I just know
Parks
how
and
much
Rec.
money the breweries and, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I know how much they make.
Yeah.
Now, is this all related to outside vendors coming in only, or is this something that we have the option of?
Outside.
Yeah, this is for outside vendors.
Just
having-
all outside vendors, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause
And I
you
di-
can't
I
buy-
didn't
well,
read
the
it.
foundation could buy alcohol with their money, but the city can't buy.
Is there
any
mention of the
Right.
Board of Health permit and all that stuff in there? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't read it all, so.
Okay, I have a question also. This is regarding the 3rd of July.
No,
No.
the 3rd of July is never allowed, because it has more than 1,000 attendees.
Okay, so this is void for 3rd of July.
It's,
Over 1,000.
yeah, so any event that's over 1,000 people, they could not apply for a permit because they have too many people.
It's also unlikely that this would pass before this year, but
Yeah, it's,
I think it's possible. Yeah.
I would highly recommend 100 and 150.
okay.
100, that's what me, I mean, I would highly recommend 100 for less than 250 attendees.
Okay.
Because,
Are there any other standing fees, like if they were to also sell food or something like
That's
that?
only with the Marion County Board of Health, and if you're a food truck, you have the Beach Road food truck license, which is for the entire year. It's $50, I believe.
Okay.
And then the Board of Health, if you're already a standing business and a food truck, you don't have to pay any more. But if you are a temporary business, so like if which I don't sell alcohol in my shop, but if I wanted to do an event in the park, which I have in the past, you can apply for a temporary like brick and mortar license, which is $40 a day.
Okay.
But that's through Marion County Health.
Are you gonna have more strict regulations on how you want them to leave the park when they leave? Because, just because you say they have to pick up the trash, it
Yeah.
may not be done. Because
Yeah,
I don't
that-
want
that-
them having to.
Exactly, yeah, that section we have not really kind of delved out because we also need to make sure in here lists how we're gonna designate people who are at the event. If you have alcohol, do the vendors need to hand out like a wristband, things like that. So that'll be in that last section. But the bulk of it, I wanted to make sure it doesn't die first, or if there's major changes that you guys need, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty with Tom.
wouldn't
I'm sorry.
anybody else recommend higher? I mean, I've been to some of these festivals before, and
I think 100 and 150 would be fair. And then, yeah, as far as like the cleanliness and
Mhm.
stuff, maybe we should try to draw from the existing like event rental space so that they're matching as much as possible.
Do you find at all if they leave it damaged? Obviously damage, you get a damage deposit, but like, do you find if they don't pick that up?
Are you talking to me or Tom?
Either one.
No, however, at the beginning of this year, I did put a disclaimer that we have the option of finding people, up to $75 if, up to the discretion of the park. So it's in their contract, but it's not, like, we don't find people, but it is there. So if Tom or any of the parks, employees came to us and said that something was really, really bad, we could do that because it's technically written in their contract, but we don't.
Yeah, and an idea would be, obviously, actually all of Tom's staff at the time, Tom is part-time. So if you wanna, let's say we wanna put in a fee, if you don't clean them up after yourself, have a maximum amount of fee, but then say what it is after how many labor hours he's had to use. So 2 people is like roughly $36 an hour. And if it takes 2 hours to clean up, they pay 75, things like that, but cap it at like 100.
And I think also the punishment of not being able to do this
In
to have,
future,
yeah, would be
Yeah.
good.
And you don't have to worry about liquor liability because the breweries and the wineries will have that liquor liability
Yeah.
and they have to have licensed bartenders, so.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Are you gonna require them to hire Beach Grove off-duty officers?
Any off-duty officer, we're not gonna limit it to just Beach Grove, so if they wanna hire off-duty Southport or Lawrence.
But they have to be a police officer. They
Correct.
can't be like a security
Correct,
police
they have to be
officer.
off-duty
Okay.
police. Yeah.
So, what are the next steps?
The next steps is to get any notes from you guys. So if you guys wanna email me your thoughts please do, because I did not bring a pen. But yeah, email those to me. Next steps, I think we should probably set up a meeting, maybe Tara, Tiffany, me, Tom, to kind of look over it, and then we need to meet with the police.
This is great information.
Okay, thanks.
Great information. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. I won't be here for your next meeting, but I can send stuff along with me. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, are there any other updates on the farmers market?
Yes. We had a very brief meeting about the farmer's market last week. It is a go. They're finalizing all of the posters and things like that. The goal still is to have it in the parking lot of the old Franciscan building. The woman we're working with, she talked to her boss, and they're not keen on it having it on this side of Albany. So it might be on the side closer to what that street is behind St. Francis property. I can't think of it right now.
Detroit?
It's still the same parking lot, just the entrance might be in the back.
What is that?
Buffalo, thank you. I knew that.
Detroit's
A,
couple
B.
more.
Yeah, ABC, both directions, yeah. Yeah, so, they're waiting on that, we have another meeting, I believe, I don't think we've said it yet, but in the next 10, 15 days. And she's gathered a list of interested vendors, sending those out. I have a list myself that I need to send to her, and making good progress. But share that information with people, because she said not a lot of them are fresh produce, a lot of them are like baked goods and things like that. So if you know anybody who does fresh produce and has a lot to get rid of, it doesn't start till June, so I know it's been cold, but hopefully we'll catch up by then. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on to reviewing the March 2025 minutes. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to look over those. I did have a couple changes.
I haven't seen the minutes.
Okay, you sent them to us.
Oh,
Yes.
is that what this is?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I
just
did
now
make
got
2
it.
changes already.
Okay.
First, I had the wrong template, so it still said that it was at the Hornet Park Community Center, which is wrong.
Oh.
So I changed that to City Hall Chamber.
Okay.
And then also, Janice was absent last
Okay.
month, and I had not marked that.
Okay. And then I think something just like got copied and like pasted to a weird place.
Probably.
So on that's okay. No, they're great. It looked like it just kind of maybe got highlighted and moved on accident. At the top of this page it says C Liam running sound. Should go under the roll call.
Oh, yes, it should. Yep.
And I had one other little thing like that. On the last.
Oh, it's in the guest recognition section.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I have everybody's.
Perfect. That's fine with me. And then I think, yeah, like D, under 6D, it was kind of, I think it was just on the wrong one.
up.
I'm sorry?
I said you have to talk
Oh, you can't hear us,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
I just had like some, just some, not changes to the information in the minutes, just a little bit of the format. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Where's that D?
Under 6.
Oh, okay. It's changed on
So I make a motion to accept the minutes with their revisions added.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, Parks Director report, Tom Hannon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Going over these notes before I got here tonight, it looks like the March report sort of overlapped the February like I talked about last time, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. We did start mowing. Everything was pretty wet, so we were waiting until we wouldn't do any damage, but Wednesday we decided, before the big rains came in, we'd try to mow. I mowed Thompson Road and got stuck there. I mowed in Carrington and got stuck there. John just kept coming back and forth from his house with a chain.
That was nice.
So we did get a little bit mowed before the rain came. But then we had a flood Friday morning. and got that cleaned up. And then, Saturday morning was flooded again. That time, the water moves through the park differently each time, and I don't understand why, but it does. And it took the mulch out of the playground area there in Sarah Baldwin.
Oh.
So, unfortunately, it didn't take it all the way. It took it out into the grass, but it didn't get rid of it. So we don't have the mulch, plus we have a job to do. But that was really the only damage that we had. We didn't lose any big trees, which sort of amazes me as wet as the ground is. I thought something would tip over, but we haven't lost any trees. So hopefully flooding is over for the year. That'd be nice. Soccer started April 1st. And when we went to get the little nets that we use for soccer, 2 of them are missing. We're not sure what happened to them because they're stored at Public Works. But I picked up some 2 sets of new ones that are pretty nice, and they weren't too expensive, so they've got goals down there to use. The restrooms got open this week. The last one was open today. When they turned the water on at the Little League, there was a leak in the water line somewhere around that cell tower. So that had to be turned off. But the one at Chalice was turned on, so we moved the porta-john from Chalice to the Little League for the time being. And the contractor was there today, at least looking at the job, so I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't done this week. So it won't set the Little League back any. Let's see here. They got all the creek banks cleared in Saraville before the flood, which helped because that debris left. It's in Longacre stuck somewhere probably. Let's see.
As part of the restoration project?
No,
Oh, okay.
that's not gonna happen. Who knows when that will happen now, because they have to be backed up in any job where they were.
Okay.
So that list will just keep getting longer for them if we don't get some dry weather. We do have the cameras ordered for the Little League, and I think, did he say next week they're gonna try to do that?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe it's scheduled for next week to reinstall those, so.
Are you
we-
changing the positioning of them, getting them more high, or?
Slightly, but we met down there and walked the property, and there really isn't a better way of doing it, because you have to stay connected with the network that's in the building. So anything you would do would involve a lot of underground work, and
Right.
it wouldn't make sense in the long run, so.
Is anything gonna be around the batting cage? Or?
No,
as
we
far as-
wont have a view over there.
Nothing at all, okay.
No.
Too far?
But that is it's toward the front, and it's in a lighted area. That's sort of why they chose that location. It's one of the reasons. So hopefully that'll help. And there hasn't been any vandalism since they identified the people who did the cameras the last time. We're meeting tomorrow, no, we're meeting Friday with the building commissioner to finish the plans to submit to the state for approval for the pavilion.
Now, Tom, was that area flooded this weekend?
No,
Oh, good.
no, I took pictures of it for that reason. The water did not come out that side of the creek at all, and typically doesn't. It goes through the playground, makes the first turn it can make, and goes right through the playground. Let's see. They planted flowers at Don Chalice Park in the planters. It was daylilies that we had from the entrance at Sarah Bolton when the wall went down.
Oh.
We saved all those daylilies, so we'll be using them all summer because there were tons of them. There were 2 more fallen trees on Franciscan Greenway, and those are just little smaller scrub kind of trees, nothing significant. We had some graffiti on bridge number 2. It wasn't visible to the public, but we took care of it. Chad put some new lights onto one of the mowers. We got new hoses installed in we have a pit for cleaning adjacent to the pit toilets that are at the baseball diamond, the outfield of the baseball diamond. And then up near the shelters in the playground, we have another pit in the ground that's got hoses in it so we can clean the shelters. So we changed out those hoses. Most of that stuff we talked about. The gentleman from Public Works that sort of rehabbed the volleyball court in Sarah T. Bolton last year had some spare time, so they did the one down Chalice right before the heavy rain, so that worked out good. Let's see, the restrooms are open. I think that's all I have.
What was the, I saw the yellow tape at Chalice around something. I can't
When they did the trailhead design there, they took the grass out between the sidewalk and the trailhead and put a few bushes and mulch. It was not a good idea because people walk through there all the time. There's actually a storm drain there, so water rushes through there. The mulch gets relocated every time. Anyway, we took all the mulch out and the bushes and we planted grass seed there. Sort of simplified things. It did look like a crime scene.
I know, I drove by.
I had a
so
few
I
people
know.
ask me what happened back there.
Great.
I did notice that pedestrian bridge is a nice trash filter.
Oh, man.
I mean,
And
it's
the
a good thing that it
ugliest
just collects
trash.
it all in one area.
It's the ugliest trash. The amount of styrofoam
Yeah,
that moves down that creek when the water's running is amazing.
but it just, I
You
don't
don't
know if
know
it
where-
catches in
where
that
it comes
fencing
from.
or whatever it catches in, but it keeps it right there for, I mean, it's probably a pain to collect it, but at least it's
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for today as well, for your the setup, the stage.
No problem.
All right. Tiffany Flick, the Hornet Park Community Center.
Hello, hello. I don't have too much for you tonight. I did submit claims and also revenue on the agenda that I sent everybody for your review. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, you can stop by my office, email me, ask me here. A couple things. So we have a couple of new things for our Hornet Pantry. And one thing returning, so Thy Kingdom Crumb, which I know a lot of you were there for the first time they were out. They will be back on April 16th from 4 to 6 o'clock. So the way that the partnership works is if they have a availability in their schedule to come out, they will reach out to us and ask if a date works, and so we don't really get to pick the date. So I do know that this falls on the same night that the school is doing their community dinner, so it's just going to be a big community feeding dinner event. So you can go to the high school and get some food, or you can come to the community center and get some food. As always, it's free from 4 to 6, first 200 people. So I know Jeff and Tara, you guys enjoyed some food. Did you like it?
It was incredible.
It was, it was. A
Yeah,
lot
the
of
whole experience was
Yes, very, very cool experience.
very cool.
good group.
Yes, and then we do have a new pantry distribution schedule that we rolled out this month. So the first week of the month now, this is on top of everything that they already get. So they're still coming into the pantry and getting what we already offer, which is like milk, dry goods, produce, and all of that. And then on top of that, now the first week of every month, families will get meat. The second week of every month, families will get some sort of toiletry. So we have toothbrushes sometimes we have toilet paper is what we did tonight. Sometimes we have diapers. It just kind of depends on what we have. And then the third week of every month is Taste of the Pantry, which aligns with Kingdom Crumb. So this month will be the food truck, but other months might be, you know, like hot dogs and chips during the summer months. Some months might be just a taste of something they can prepare in the pantry. It's to kind of educate people on what can they make with the food that they get from the pantry. So we'll also offer like a recipe card with that as well. And then the fourth week of every month will be dry goods. So we'll prepare what they will be picking up from the pantry the third week, and then they'll kind of get what we use to make that stuff the fourth week. So coming up, I think she's got some baggies that have things to make like shepherd's pie and something else it's like cornbread casserole. So using what we get in the pantry, because a lot of the times we don't get enough corn donated or enough, you know, spaghetti sauce donated to hand out to 120 people. But if we hold it back for months at a time, then eventually we do. So this was Candace's way of giving that stuff away without slowing down the line and, you know, disturbing the process that we already have. So, so if you can come out for the Kingdom Crumb, please come on out. It's exciting. And then as far as things that were, I'm so sorry. And then today we actually found out we had a call with Gleaners, and they have what is called a DAP program. It's direct agency pickup. And it is a partnership specifically that we can get through being, having our partnership with Gleaners. And what that is Gleaners will help give us an attachment, a new partnership with a store in our surrounding area. So we can have a partnership with Aldi, Walmart, Dollar General, Target. It just kind of depends on what they have available. And then we can go as the Hornet Park Community Center and pick up what it is that they have, which then helps with our pantry as well. And then also allows us to give out other things that some families might need. So we're excited to start that partnership. We don't have a store right now because they don't have anything available. But we're excited about that. So. Yeah. And then as far as Hornet Park Community Center events going on, so the Easter Bunny scavenger hunt is this weekend over off of Sarah T. Bolton off the trail. We're excited about that one. If you guys saw some promo photos that were released earlier this week, we have got the Bigfoot will be there. A couple other woodland creatures will be there as well. The Easter Bunny will be there. There's no charge to interact with the Easter Bunny or take photos with the Easter Bunny. It is $5 to pre-register for the big goodie bag. However, we do have about 150 small candy bags made up for those individuals who do not register beforehand. So kids will still be able to participate in the event and receive something for free while supplies last. So we try to cater to both clientele with that. For Going Green, just a reminder that it's April 26th. There's a lot going on with that event, like a lot. We have the free native tree saplings as always. We have a kids center this year with kids activities. We'll have live butterflies that people can interact with. Bouquet making, we'll have food, we'll have tons of vendors. We also will have Recycle Force out there taking recycling. So that list will get released here soon. I just finished that list. It'll get released on social media that states what we take and what we don't take. With that, there will be a $20 screen fee, and that's just because they charge us a $20 screen fee. So anything with like monitors, TVs, you can drop off. It's just going to be $20 to do so. But all of that will get released here shortly. And then just another reminder, Touch Truck May 31st. So we did release our save the date for that. Tentatively right now, it's going to be between the hours of 12 and 2, depending on the vendor applications that get returned and some of the other agreements that I'm working on with local organizations. We could extend that time. It just kind of depends on what we see coming back. So.
Will does the city have any equipment that could?
Yes, so we are working with all of the department heads and Mayor Kaufman with getting what Beech Grove can provide, and then there's a couple other organizations that have reached out to me that have some good things to educate kids with, and so they'll be able to be at that as well. Yeah.
Great.
Any questions on that before we move on to summer concert? No? Okay, that's fine. So summer concert dates and bands are all released, as I'm sure everybody has seen. The engagement with that has been amazing. The feedback has been amazing. We haven't had too many complaints with the bands that were chosen or the dates, so that's good. Sponsorships, we're still sitting at around $15,000 to $16,000. Our overall goal for the entire series is to have the series paid for and just in sponsorships. But my personal goal is 21.5. That covers all bands, stage, and sound for this year. And then we're still taking sponsorships. So if you know anybody who's interested, who wants to sponsor the concert series, send them my way. Food-wise, we do have Papa Curl and Rustic Root returning for most of the dates. Beach Grove Little League, I'm waiting for a response from them, but they are very interested in coming out. And then some of the other trucks that I have reached out through Barb or just through word of mouth, they do require minimums. So what that means is if they come out, they require that they have to sell a certain amount of money. And if they do not meet that minimum, then we have to eat that cost. So we're not opposed to that. We just want to make sure that we're spending our budget wisely and we're choosing wisely. We're choosing things that will make people interested and excited to eat the food, and we're not having to put up too much of a cost. So that's kind of the pause on some of that. And then the next steps for us right now is just marketing. So it's getting together with Sly Fox and figuring out what the marketing looks like, getting some of that drafted up, and then getting it printed. So.
Well, and you might talk to Phil Davis too about the miniature donuts he's doing, him and his brothers. They have a food truck now.
Cool. I'll keep that in mind.
Did you, I did not respond yet to the email about the website. I was kind of waiting for today's luncheon to
Oh, that's okay. The
get
website
taken care of.
the summer
For the
concert series.
concerts.
Yep. Chad and I are getting together tomorrow to work on getting that page updated. So it should be up and running hopefully by next week.
Sorry for the delay. I was getting over one event and
Oh,
waiting for that one.
I'm doing that constantly. I understand.
Yes, I had to wait for that to
Yeah.
get through. Okay, I did not want that to slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
And what food is the Little League bringing to the table?
I don't know yet. Not sure.
That's what I
They're
said.
very interested. They very much want to do all of the concert series.
They're sandwich.
But that's what I was
Is it
saying
Friday
about it.
ribeye?
Yeah.
Ribeye?
I think
Okay.
they mentioned a couple meetings ago
Yeah.
that they.
Yeah, I just followed up with them today, but just haven't heard anything back yet. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I know where their stand is.
Right.
Great.
Yeah. And then there's a request for you guys as well. So you do not have to vote on this tonight. You can think about it, talk about it. But one of the things that we really want to do for the summer concert series is we want to elevate the kids zone. We want to make it family friendly. And so the community center will be there at every single concert series. And one of the things that we would like to do at their first one is have kind of a bigger event for the kids. So we would love to have some sort of bounce house. I did talk with Tom about it. He said I need to get approval from you guys, just because we want to make sure that we're on the same page, because if somebody else was asking for this request, they would have to come to the Parks Board. So I just ask that you guys think about it. We are still unclear, uncertain where we're going to put the kids zone. We need to get out there and kind of look. We don't really want to put it in the same location. We would like to have it kind of away from the stage where the kids can kind of have their own area. So the bounce house would not obstruct the view. We're hoping it would be to the side, kind of like over behind the people, so that it's not, so that people are able to enjoy the concert. So that's a just keep in mind, think about it. So.
Is there something already in print about bounce houses?
I think they have to be approved by the board.
Approved
That's
by
not just approved, okay, so, okay.
That's it. That's all I got.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have you looked into the cost of buying one of those? They're not that expensive.
Yes. However, storage is a issue for
Oh.
us. Yeah. I have looked into it, but there's absolutely nowhere I can store it right now. I'm running out of room.
But you're gonna wear your inflatable little, whatever those.
Shark.
Oh yeah.
Sharks, yeah, the sharks.
Anytime for me to be in costume, I'm there. Okay. I'll be in the shark costume.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Moving through the rest of our business, old and new, kind of mixed together here. I did want to take a moment to thank everyone who helped make the Mayor's Lunch for Parks today successful. It looked beautiful if you were there. If not, you missed out. It was lovely. We had a great crowd, happy, friendly, supportive crowd for our parks, which is very exciting to see as someone who enjoys, walking my dog or taking my kids or just walking by myself. We have a lot of support from the community and surrounding businesses, and that was really, really awesome to see. There's a lot of people there. It wore me out, so barely made it here this evening, but thank you all very, very much. It was
very nice.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And the first time I've tried the chicken salad.
Oh, and the the chicken salad. Don't snooze on the chicken salad. Great. So we will move our tour, our minibus tour of all the parks properties with Tom to May. Couldn't quite squeeze that one in. There's just too much going on. Did you say May or June?
May's fine.
May's fine.
I think we'd set it for May.
May. Okay. And we will do that at 6:30. We will just meet here. Tom will, or do you drive, or does
I'm not
somebody
sure
drive
what
and you you?
The seniors got a new little van, and
Okay.
it might need a normal license. I could do that, but
Okay.
if not, we'll persuade someone.
Great. So we'll just meet here at 6:30 and do that, and have our regular meeting at 7.
Be here at 6:30.
Yes, please.
On the 14th.
May 14th. Is that correct?
May
So-
14th or May 9th?
May 14th.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The Beech Grove Little League is having a cleanup weekend. I believe they ask for help on Saturday and Sunday. If anyone is around to help do that, you can take a look at their Facebook page for more information. I don't know if you need to bring a rake or a trash bag, but check that out. And if you are available, I'm sure they could use the extra hands.
Did you let the high school kids know so that they could use that for community service?
No, I can send that over. Who should I send that to?
I'd probably send it to Garrett. Maybe.
Okay.
I can do it if you want me to. You have enough to do.
If you just take the post from their Facebook page.
Okay,
send it.
sure.
Thank
Okay.
you. That'd be great. Okay, let's see here. Anything else? I do not have anything else this evening. Does anyone have anything else?
Did
from-
we find anything else out about the agreement from Indy Parks?
No. Nope. Hasn't been any movement on that for a long time. It's just something I wanted to keep on our list so we don't lose track of that. Anything else? Great. Can I get a
Nope.
motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Meeting's adjourned at 7:38. We will see you in May. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.